This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
More trouble for Donald Trump relative to ballot access, this time in the state of Illinois, where a judge has ruled, I'm going to read from this NBC News article, but a judge has ruled that based on his participation in the insurrection, his chief role in the insurrection, this judge agrees with the Supreme Court of Colorado that Donald Trump is not eligible and thus removed. This will obviously be appealed, but this is where we stand on this. Keep in mind, a lot of people are saying, well, I thought this was already ruled on. Well, it's not ruled on. The arguments were made before the Supreme Court, but they have yet to issue their ruling on this. Some will say that this is kind of a going nowhere. I tend to agree with that, but you never know. Here's the NBC News headline. Illinois judge rules Trump ineligible for Republican primary ballot over January 6th riot. The judge put her ruling on hold to give Trump time to appeal before the state's March 19th primary. Illinois is the third state where Trump has been deemed ineligible. An Illinois judge ruled Wednesday that former President Donald Trump should be taken off the ballot for the state's primary election, citing the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol. Doesn't it seem just logical, reasonable, standard issue that someone who attempts to end democracy in America should be barred from participation in that democracy to try to gain power again, so that if they do gain power, they'll be in a position to then again attempt to end democracy? You don't get to use the thing that you want to destroy that very thing. It doesn't make any sense to me. Cook County Circuit Court Judge Tracie Porter put her order on pause in anticipation of an appeal. The primary is March 19th. Porter's ruling said that based on engaging in insurrection on January 6, 2021, his name should be removed from the ballot. Trump campaign spokesperson Stephen Chung bashed the ruling in a statement, arguing it was unconstitutional and saying it would be appealed. He also lashed out at Porter, calling her an activist Democrat judge. The Trump campaign also began trying to raise money off the decision shortly after it was filed. A group of 5 petitioners asked the state to remove Trump from the primary ballot on January 4th, the same day, or I said same, the day he submitted filings to appear on the ballot. Illinois is the third state where Trump has been deemed ineligible for the primary ballot. Similar rulings have been issued in Colorado and Maine. Both are also on pause. And then this is getting to what the judge said about concurring with the opinion of the Colorado Supreme Court. In each instance, the disqualification clause of the Constitution's 14th Amendment was cited. Section 3 of the 14th Amendment is a Civil War era provision that holds that someone who has taken an oath to the Constitution as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States, as a member of any state legislature or as a state executive or judicial officer, and has engaged in insurrection cannot hold public office. But it does not specify whether the provisions applies to presidents. The United States Supreme Court recently heard oral arguments in the Colorado case, but it has not issued a ruling, like I said just a few minutes ago. Porter, the Illinois judge, referred Wednesday to the Colorado Supreme Court's decision multiple times in her ruling, adding that she shares, quote, the Colorado Supreme Court sentiments that did not reach its conclusions lightly. So, look, ultimately, I don't think this is going to prevail. I don't think we're in a place in American history where people are looking at this clearly. It has been ruled in at least one court that what took place on January 6th was legally an insurrection against the country. So that argument's out. The crux of this is whether he's an officer of the United States. And because he doesn't take the exact same oath as people in Congress or I took in the military, that he's exempt from this. So they're trying to argue that the founders, the framers of our Constitution and our government initially, they believed the President of the United States could attempt to overthrow the country and it was quite all right. It was A-OK. No big deal, standard operating procedure. And that is just absolutely batshit crazy. And courts are now, I guess on a technicality, agreeing with this. I don't get it. I agree with the Illinois judge. I agree with the Colorado Supreme Court. I believe most of you agree with that. And that's where I'll leave you. I'll throw that question to you. We can mix it up in the comments. That would be great because that also triggers YouTube to promote this channel, share this content with new viewers, and that is great. But you can also call 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, as always, daily@dollemore.com. I've been getting some good ones. I'm going to have to start sharing some of them. If you appreciate what I do and you want to help support this work financially, you can become a channel member on YouTube. Click the join button below the video on YouTube. For $2 a month, $1.99, you can become a channel member and help support and produce these videos, helping me reach however many people, 10, 12, 15 million people I reach a month. You can also go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast, and know that you're helping move the conversation forward. You're helping disseminate truth in a world where that is actually a commodity these days. It is an important metric. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm there at Dollemore on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, all of them at Dollemore. I'd love to see you there, and I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Take care of one another.